President Biden will return to Washington, D.C. from Camp David tomorrow. He's been with his family, including his son Hunter. Before the holiday weekend, House Republicans received a response from U.S. Attorney David Weiss, who led, as we know, the Hunter Biden tax probe. Well, Weiss sent a letter to House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan defending the DOJ against whistleblower claims of interference and also special treatment. Weiss in the letter said he had, quote, ultimate authority, but then he went on to admit that, what whistleblowers also state, as the U.S. Attorney for the District of Delaware, my charging authority is geographically limited to my home district.
So it was a letter that was not a complete contradiction from what we've heard from the IRS whistleblower Gary Shapley. But interesting note here, too, Weiss in this letter also writes that he must protect confidential law enforcement information and will not provide specific information related to the Hunter Biden investigation at this time, and that could be problematic for the GOP oversight.
Absolutely. A lot of questions with that. Joining us now, David Harris Jr., host of the David Harris Jr. Show and author of a brand new book, A Town Worth Defending, and also with us, attorney Erin Elmore. Good to have you both. Thanks for coming on. Erin, let's start with you. You're the attorney here. Your thoughts on Weiss's letter? It seems like he's kind of really trying to shut down the GOP oversight. What do you think?
I mean, although he was a Trump appointee, it definitely sounds like he was basically saying the buck stops with him. And if so, I think he needs to march before the House and tell them exactly what he knows. I want to know what happened to the felony IRS taxes. Did they investigate his overseas dealings? He should have registered as a foreign agent under the FARA Act. There are a lot more questions than answers. 2 misdemeanor tax charges and a gun charge that we know is going to result. That was the only felony, by the way. That's going to result in a diversionary program. He's not going to face any jail time. So I do think Attorney Weiss really has to answer, not just to the American people, but in our United States government. We need people like Jim Jordan out there asking these tough questions because we deserve to know exactly what happened and why are there so many contradictions.
In a 5-year-long investigation, I mean, these charges, many say, could have been, decided in a matter of weeks here. And, Erin, it's a good point. Americans want answers. David, I want to get your reaction to Hunter's attorney, Abbe Lowell. Not surprisingly, he's trying to discredit this WhatsApp text message saying, oh, this is fake. Now, let's keep in mind, these are from IRS whistleblowers whose sworn testimony say it was from an iCloud server. So Abbe Lowell is saying it doesn't look like a WhatsApp message, but that's just how it was given and, disseminated. But I think, obviously, a lot of folks are saying if it was from an iCloud server, how are you saying it's not how are you saying it's not real? Makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But then again, what does anything these Democrats, and especially Joe Biden, his crack-smoking son Hunter, do make sense? Nothing they do makes sense. It come out over the weekend that he was taking pictures of himself driving 170-something miles an hour on the way to Vegas. Also, maybe not at the same time, but also taking pictures of himself smoking crack while driving. Again, this is the person that Joe Biden said is the smartest person he knows. There's so much corruption that's being exposed that they don't know which way to go and which way to turn. All they can do is deny, and hope the people that are watching the stations like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, you name it, the alphabet soup Kool-Aid propaganda machine, unlike Newsmax, like you, let's hope that the viewers of those shows buy it. That's all they can do is hope their viewers buy their nonsense to try to keep any loyalty to this totally corrupt Democrat Party and the leaders. It's just asinine to me, but nothing surprises me anymore with these people.
It's interesting, too, when you talk about, the corruption. On the Jack Smith side, we've talked a lot about, the people on his case who have been, donating to Democrats. Julie Kelly tweeting this, that Jack Smith was actually the head of the DOJ's Public Integrity Unit during the Obama years at the DOJ. That's the same time, Joe Biden was vice president, possibly at the same time where, Hunter's setting up all these business for the alleged influence peddling. These people are all intertwined, and it goes back years, Erin.
It absolutely does. And I believe that the judge in the New York case against President Trump, his daughter interned for Kamala Harris. So we need some form of justice in this country that doesn't look like a two-tier justice system, because we're already seeing Democrats treated completely differently than Republicans. What's also troubling to the American people is that Hunter Biden has been at Camp David 2 weekends in a row. Right before that, he was at a very elegant state dinner, and he was just charged with 2 misdemeanors and a felony. In what world would that be okay if it were President Trump and his children? We know that it wouldn't. So we have corrupt judges, and if they're not corrupt, they're at least involved with the Democrat Party. And we have Hunter Biden, who's basically one step away from the nuclear codes. How does this even pass the smell test? And the American people at home must be scratching their heads saying, wow, we have a government that we can no longer trust. And then it makes you question, what else can I trust about our government? Can we trust what's going on with the border? Can we trust what they taught us about COVID? And every time we ask one of those questions, as Republicans, guess what we realize? We were the ones that were right. We are not tinfoil hat crazies. What's the difference between a conspiracy and the truth? 6 months.
There you go.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I'm not going to try to defend Joe Biden or Hunter Biden, but I think Joe Biden will say, well, he's spending the weekend with his son, and his son did struggle with a drug addiction. A lot of people do struggle with drug addiction, and I don't think I think it's a serious thing. He's clean now.
It's a tough play because he also ignores the granddaughter.
Clean?
We also ignore the granddaughter.
That's
maybe.
true.
So the
and I
love
feel bad
only
for that
goes
little girl.
so far.
For
Yeah.
sure. No, I get it. Like I said, I'm not trying to defend them.
No, it's just it's optics, and it's people are looking,
So
and it's
okay
also privilege.
A former drug addict at Camp David for 2 weekends in a row? Okay.
Well, listen, we appreciate the insight. We wish we had more time. David, congrats on the new book, A Town Worth Defending. David Harris Jr., Erin Elmore, have a wonderful 4th of July. Stay safe out there.
Happy Independence
Thank you.
Day.
And get that book at bravebooks.com.
Thank you both.
Thanks, guys.